Just hours after one of the most heartbreaking results of his entire World Cup summer, Erling Haaland did something that instantly turned a painful elimination into one of the most talked-about viral moments of the tournament. Rather than disappearing quietly into a hotel room to process a devastating quarter-final loss, the towering Norwegian striker climbed onto a bus with a group of his teammates, headed straight into the heart of Miami's nightlife scene, and ended up dancing and singing along to a live performance from rapper Flo Rida in the middle of the night. In this video, we are going to walk through exactly what happened that night, break down why this particular moment captured so much attention, and explore what it reveals about the personality that made Haaland one of the most beloved figures of this entire World Cup. So let us get into everything that unfolded. To understand why this moment felt so significant, you first have to understand the pain Haaland and Norway had just experienced only hours earlier. Norway had been eliminated from the World Cup by England in a scrappy, extra-time quarter-final battle that ended 2-1, a defeat made even more frustrating by an earlier moment in the match when a Norwegian goal was overturned after officials ruled that Haaland had pushed English midfielder Elliot Anderson during the build-up. Jude Bellingham eventually scored twice to seal England's win, sending Norway home just short of a spot in the semi-finals and closing the book on one of the most remarkable underdog runs the tournament had produced. For most athletes, a loss with that much riding on it would typically be followed by a quiet, somber night processing the disappointment. Haaland, it turned out, had a very different plan. Before we get into exactly what happened once the club doors opened, take a second to hit that like button and make sure you are subscribed, because we are covering every unforgettable moment from this World Cup summer. It only takes a second, and it genuinely helps the channel. Alright, let us get into it. According to multiple reports, Haaland arrived at E11 Eve, a well-known downtown Miami ultra club, shortly after 1:30 in the morning, just hours removed from the final whistle of Norway's elimination. He was not alone, arriving alongside a group of his national teammates, including Alexander Sørloth, Antonio Nusa, Oscar Bob, Andreas Schjelderup, and Julian Ryerson, among several others from the Norwegian squad. The group made their way to a second-floor VIP booth overlooking the club, settling in for a night that quickly turned into one of the more memorable off-field moments of the entire tournament. Choosing to process their elimination together in the middle of one of the country's most famous nightlife destinations, rather than retreating separately after such a difficult result. The night reached its peak around 3:30 in the morning, when rapper Flo Rida took the stage for a live performance inside the club. Video that quickly circulated across social media showed Haaland enthusiastically singing along to Flo Rida's well-known 2007 hit Low, fully immersed in the moment alongside his teammates, who could be seen cheering him on from the same VIP booth. At one point during the performance, Flo Rida directly acknowledged the Norwegian contingent from the stage, telling the crowd to give it up for Norway in the house, a moment that prompted Haaland to wave warmly down at the performer from his elevated vantage point above the dance floor. That small interaction between artist and athlete became one of the most replayed clips from the entire night, encapsulating just how far Haaland's celebrity had traveled during this tournament, recognized and shouted out even inside one of Miami's most exclusive nightlife venues. Part of what made this footage spread so quickly across social media was the sheer contrast between the heartbreak of the loss and the joy on display just hours later. Clips of Haaland singing along enthusiastically, clearly enjoying himself despite the disappointment of elimination, struck many viewers as refreshingly human, a reminder that even elite athletes need an outlet to process difficult results in whatever way feels right to them personally. Telemundo Deportes captured the sentiment perfectly in a widely shared social media post, noting that Haaland and the Norwegian national team had quickly switched gears after being eliminated by England, choosing to enjoy themselves to the beat of Flo Rida rather than letting the disappointment define their final night in the country. That framing of resilience and enjoyment in the face of heartbreak became the dominant lens through which fans interpreted the entire outing. Interestingly, this outing lined up almost perfectly with comments Haaland had made months earlier about his general approach to handling both success and disappointment. Speaking to Men's Health back in April, well before the tournament even began, he explained his philosophy directly, saying that it is about looking ahead and staying in the present rather than dwelling on what happened or what could have happened. He added that he tries not to overthink everything, even with so much happening in the world around him. Watching that mindset play out in real time, just hours after one of the most painful results of his career, gave the Miami nightclub outing an added layer of meaning, transforming what could have looked like simple partying into a genuine demonstration of the resilient, present-focused attitude he had been describing all along. The nightclub outing turned out to be Haaland's final major moment in the United States before departing the country entirely. The following day, he shared a selfie on Instagram taken from a bus, wearing sunglasses and a backwards cap, captioning the post with a short and simple farewell, writing that it had been emotional saying goodbye to the United States. That quick transition, from dancing until sunrise at one of Miami's most exclusive clubs to posting a heartfelt goodbye message just hours later, captured the emotional whiplash of the entire experience, closing out his American summer with one final wave of both celebration and genuine sentiment. The reaction from American fans to this entire sequence of events was overwhelmingly warm and entertained. Social media quickly filled with fans sharing and resharing the club footage, with many joking about Haaland's commitment to enjoying himself late into the night after such a difficult loss. One particularly popular comment joked that Haaland had wanted to sit out at the very end of the match specifically so he could preserve his energy for the club afterward, a light-hearted jab that captured the playful tone most fans took toward the entire situation. Rather than criticizing the outing as an inappropriate reaction to elimination, the overwhelming majority of fans framed it as yet another example of the relaxed, likable personality that had made Haaland one of the most talked-about figures of the entire tournament. Someone who understood how to enjoy a moment fully regardless of the circumstances surrounding it. Stepping back from the specifics of this particular night, this story fits neatly into the broader narrative that had defined Haaland's entire American summer. A player who consistently proved willing to embrace every part of the experience, win or lose, with genuine enthusiasm rather than guarded restraint. From cowboy hats in Dallas to Viking chants in Times Square, to now dancing alongside a Grammy-nominated rapper in Miami. Haaland's off-field moments throughout this tournament repeatedly demonstrated a level of authenticity that resonated deeply with American audiences discovering him for the first time. This nightclub outing, arriving right at the emotional low point of Norway's tournament, ended up reinforcing exactly why so many fans had grown so attached to him over the preceding 6 weeks. At the end of the day, this story captures something genuinely endearing about how Haaland chose to close out his time in America, refusing to let a painful elimination define his final hours in the country, and instead turning it into one more unforgettable viral moment for fans to remember him by. Whether singing along to Flo Rida in a Miami VIP booth or posting an emotional farewell message the very next morning, Haaland gave American audiences one final glimpse of the personality that had made this entire summer so memorable. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you are subscribed so you catch our next video the moment it drops, because a summer this entertaining deserves to be remembered in full.